Hello. Hi, it's our coffee break video again. How you doing? So I must apologise if it's a bit noisy. I've got a little fan heater going because we've got no heating at the moment and I'm just trying to stay alive, so apologies for that. But I know it might be a bit noisy. But of course, I've got our trusty cards, which I'm going to pull us. Going to do a bit of EFT tapping. But I'm going to have a chat with you first. I hope life is treating you well. Maybe I've already caught up with you because you're in our weekend Peace with PDA chat. I couldn't get my words out there, which is really nice. And if you don't know about that, you are very, very welcome to come and join us every weekend. We like to get together. I think of it a bit like a coffee morning, but we make it all weekend because people can dip in and out. And, we have to be flexible. We have to be, approachable and flexible as the community we are. So we go from Friday evening to Sunday evening, UK time, because that's when I'm tuned into, and people come in and out around their time zones, around their family timings, around the sleep patterns, all those things, and come and join us and just have a catch up. Sometimes that is, sharing what we're up to this weekend. Sometimes it is talking about things we're struggling with. Sometimes it is talking about, things we've enjoyed, little victories, wins, happy moments. Sometimes it's about what we're watching, what we're reading, there's no rules to it. It's just about connection through our community. So if you think you'd enjoy that, and if you're in Peace with PDA, our Facebook group, you can look out for the chat. I send an invite to all members, and I really try and avoid too many tags and invites and all these things. But if I don't send these tags and invites on the crucial things, at the risk of being demanding, these things just don't show up for people and they don't know they're there, so it's really hard to get that balance right. I try very hard to do it mindfully. So I do send an invite to all members, but I'm realising a lot lately that people don't always see the chat come up in their messenger feed. And so I am told, particularly iPhone users, it can be a bit problematic with. If you go onto your messenger, assuming you have it on your phone, your messenger app, and then you go to the top left corner, there's like the three lines, the stack of pancakes. And if you click on that, there's a bit that says chats, and it should hopefully come up in that. The other thing you can do is go into the Facebook group, Peace with PDA, the closed group rather than the public page. And if you make sure that you're on seeing all notifications, because otherwise Facebook filters just for most popular posts or something and chooses what you get to see. But if you make sure you go on most recent or all posts, and then you will actually see the chat in the group. You can click on it, so you can go and look for it. If you're not receiving the invitations and you've got FOMO, make sure you find it one of those ways. Or if you're not managing it those ways, give me a shout. I'll make sure you come and hook up with us, because I don't want you missing out. Very important. Okay, my loves. Right. So before I pull a card, or if I see it, I'll pop it out, but I won't reveal it quite yet. I was thinking about, thank you. I was thinking about nervous systems, which I do a lot, being a PDA parent, but also being someone who journeys with anxiety, because human, and somebody who had something particular come up this week. I was thinking a lot about nervous systems and the way that our psyche can trigger things for us, even if it's not helpful, especially if it's not helpful, and if it's really not a present circumstance. And so what happens is we have things that trigger a nervous system response. So maybe something happens, like, I'll give you an example that this is a really personal one for me that I definitely experienced, which is getting something in the post which made me anxious. Okay? Sure, that's highly relatable too, whether it's in the email, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in the post, you get the gist. So something comes and it made me really anxious. And then from then on, I find that if I'm getting towards that time the post is due, or coming home from somewhere and there's going to be post in the post box, there's this like background anxiety going on about what's going to be in the post. Now, 95% of the time, what's in the post is junk mail and goes straight in the recycling, because post these days, you know, sometimes, especially it's been Christmas lately, sometimes there's nice stuff in there, cards and presents and things like that. And sometimes there's really mundane stuff in there, you know, bank statement, or I don't even know. I get less and less in the post these days because we're paperless, but, you know, just bog standard communication. And every now and then there's something in the post which I don't want to receive. A speeding fine, or something about some benefits, or something, you know, or something you've got to renew, or something, and it's like, oh, you know, and there it is, that feeling of anxiety. Most of the time, that is not in the post box. But my psyche has now got a pathway created that post, opening that post box, finding what's in the post, is something to be worried about, something to defend against. And so this anxiety shows up in that pathway of my experience. And so this happens to us all the time with so many different things, and a lot of it we're not even aware that actually we've set up a pathway unconsciously, because it just feels like normal. It's so familiar, it's so usual to us. But there's lots of things that we respond to with an anxiety response that we didn't used to. And maybe something happened at some point that caused our psyche to put this defense up and say that can be dangerous. You know, maybe something we had to deal with that was actually really difficult, and anxiety was an appropriate response to that at the time. But here we are, sometimes 30 years later or whatever it is, still having an anxiety response to that pathway, that trigger that created that pathway. But also, our psyche sets up related things, and that can trigger the anxiety too. So it might be that when I open the post box and that thing that I didn't want to be in there, you know, actually was a rainy day. So my psyche kind of took a snapshot of the situation. So maybe more anxiety builds if it's a bit grey and rainy. Actually nothing to do with the post, but in my mind, it's made a connection. Maybe I was cooking some chips in the oven. The smell of chips might be an association to me going out to the post box that day. So actually the smell of chips can trigger an anxiety response, even though the chips have actually got nothing to do with what was in the post box. It took a snapshot of everything in my environment, the sounds, the smells, the situations, the people, the feelings and everything, and it's connected them. So when we are resolving our anxiety in our nervous system using systems like EFT tapping, we aren't necessarily just looking at the direct correlation. We kind of have to be a little bit detective-y and notice where our mind has hooked onto similarities and things that connect. And that can be a bit abstract. It can take a little bit of tuning into, as we say in EFT, to find them. And it actually helps when we start doing the process, because as we uncover one and our nervous system starts to calm down, it feels safe for other ones to show up in our awareness. So it helps us with being a detective. And I was just thinking a lot about that, really, because I think, you know, we can start to get this feeling build up in our life situations as parents that we are, of sort of this generalized anxiety that goes around stuff to do with our parenting or being with our children. And it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes to know where to start with that journey. But we can notice those situations that create that peak of anxiety in us and start to work with that and start to really bring that relief into our nervous system, but also start to be that detective that find those connections and start to resolve those too. And we can really journey into more peace in our body's nervous system. And I say that with no emphasis on any perfection or we should be anywhere other than we are. You know, I still walk with my own anxiety, and it helps me uncover barriers and blocks that I walk with to my own unconditional acceptance and love, ultimately. And so I have to welcome it as the friend it is. I have to welcome it as the friend it is that helps me pay attention to my sensitivities so that I can be more deliberate and have more well-being walking through the world. You know, anxiety, I'm not making it the enemy. Just acknowledging that there is a beautiful journey to walk with, and that we do deserve to have tools and systems and people who support us in feeling more peace in our body's energy system, in our nervous system, so that we can enjoy times of feeling more connected and more whole, more us, you know, and welcoming in more fun and more love and more creativity and more ease into those places than we might currently be experiencing if we're walking with a lot of anxiety. So I just wanted to offer that out. Right, the card that came out, I put this scarf on today and I feel like it's taking me over. I don't know what to do with it. I like the colours, but it's taking me over. Okay. Clear out the debris. It's a good spring clean card. I am not feeling inspired to do much practical spring cleaning in my house because it feels extraordinarily wintry, and with the heater not working, very, very cold, and the last thing I want to do is to be cleaning. I just want to huddle under a blanket. But I am doing a lot of this on an emotional level and in noticing my deep patterns, and I'm doing a lot of deeper deconditioning work at the moment. So I don't know if this is meeting you where it feels like the your kind of higher guidance energies are meeting you right now, but I'll read the message on the card. It says engage in psychic cleansing, so of the mind and of the inner guidance. How much debris do you carry in your energy field? Debris is generated by irritation, stress, unfinished business, and mental and emotional toxins. Something just really jumped out at me there. In the unfinished business, something that I am procrastinating and avoiding, and yes, it is draining my energy, so I will take that message. Did anything jump out for you? Irritation, stress, unfinished business, and mental and emotional toxins. It's distracting and disempowering to the healing process. Your goal is to release unnecessary thoughts and emotions. Okay. So if you notice anything coming up for you and you'd like to join me some EFT tapping now, we can do that. So just joining in, tapping on the side of your hand. This is where we find the subject, we often say the issue or the problem that we want to look at, and we make friends with it. We say, okay, it's here, and I'm going to feel safe in looking at this because I still love and accept myself even though this is going on with me. So for me, even though I'm putting off this unfinished business, I love and accept myself. Notice what yours is. Even though, and you can put it in here, it could be I'm feeling irritated, or I'm putting something off, or what were the other ones? Even though I've got mental and emotional toxins, that's catchy, isn't it? You can put your own words in there. Even though I'm feeling irritated, even though I'm feeling really stressed right now, I love and accept myself. Okay, so just notice yours. And then just with me, just allow yourself to take in a breath and just let that go with ease, and allow yourself to come fully into your belly where you can really feel that intuition and guidance in that space. And I just want you to notice how you know it's there. How do you know this is there? Have you got a thought, a picture? Is there something nagging at you in your mind? Or have you got a sensation in your body? Are you feeling like you're clenching somewhere, or, you know, holding something, pushing something? You know, just notice where it's showing up for you in your whole awareness, in your body guidance. And just put your attention on that for me. And we're just going to tap on the front of the eyebrow here. Just keeping your attention there. And then on the side of the eye, and just say, and I'm safe, and I'm whole, and I'm complete. And then I want you to put your attention there and just tap under the eye and under the nose and say, and I am enough. I'm fantastic. I love and appreciate myself. And then on the chin, putting your attention there. My tummy's gurgling where the energy's moving. Are you notice any energy moving? Sometimes we take a deep breath, have a sigh, a yawn, a sneeze. My tummy's the one churning, so I must have been holding that energy in my belly. Okay, right over the collarbone like this. Good, we're just noticing where that energy's showing up for us in our thoughts and in our feelings. And under the arm like this, just noticing where that energy's showing up. And we're just going to complete the circuit by tapping on top of the head here like this. You can go with that hand up like this, or use a flat hand, whatever feels good for you. And I just want you to say for me, and I am safe. And it is okay that this is where I am. I love and appreciate myself in this exact space. I am perfect as I am. I'm an amazing parent. I'm a fantastic person, and I really, deeply and completely, radically, unconditionally accept myself right where I am. Okay, my loves. Have a super week. Lots of love to you. I will see you soon. Bye.